What is up? Let's do a quick rundown on leverage trading and how margin works. A very important thing to know if you're going to try to do leverage trading. Definitely recommend you start very small with this because, well, it's not as easy as it sounds. If you think regular trading is hard, leverage trading is it's a whole different thing. But let's get into it. Things you'll need to know. First of all, the multiplier. Very simple. It just multiplies whatever margin you are allocating to buying power. So if I have 100x leverage and $1,000, that means I'm playing with $100,000 of buying power. Very simple. And let's see, let's go this margin mode. Two very big differences here. So cross and isolated. I think it's isolated by default. In isolated margin, it only uses the certain amount of margin that you allocate to that position. So if I only wanted to put, say, $100 or whatever, $1,000 onto this, whatever the number, then I would allocate that much. My liquidation price and would be set, and that's it. Like if it got close to that liquidation price, the only way what I would have to do is add more to that position. I'd have to open another position with more margin on the same pair. So it's that amount of margin for the trade. But on cross, you're risking the entire balance right here. So say in this example, I'm looking at a short on XRP. It's using this amount of money. That's why I'm keeping this small. I use cross, and let's say I want to do a couple $100 worth of margin or so, something like that, and then, but it uses all of this amount for free margin, which means it raises my liquidation price. And this thing looks like it's about to start printing. I'm just going to let it run a little bit. The point here is that you definitely need to keep a very close eye on what your liquidation price is. And be aware of that. And it may be smart to put a stop loss in front of it so that you can't get liquidated. In this instance, let's see, estimated liquidation price 292. So if I were to put I'm gonna move that to profit up. That's kind of 235. Where does that put me? P&L 687%, 689%. You can kind of fine tune your stops here. And I might do something like this, 275 stop. So risking $85 to make $1,400, basically $1,300. That is a risk to reward of, well, that's pretty fucking good. That's, what is that, like a 15x or something? 15 to 1? That's a very solid risk to reward ratio. And if you can risk $1 to make 15, would you do it? Now, if I had a high confidence play, I might not put a stop loss and just use this amount here as my stop loss. So, I would just fund this with whatever it was, put it on cross, get my entry, and if it runs, great. If it liquidates me, that's fine too. I know how much I'm risking. The thing you wouldn't want to do is have a big account in here and do something on cross without a stop loss. You could lose your entire bag. So be aware what you're doing, and I've definitely seen that type of thing happen. So, all right, just a little update on the XRP trade we just took. It's printing pretty good. It's up about 100%, a little over 100% right now, and I have moved my stop loss into profit. So I moved my stop loss down here. I let it run for a little bit before I wanted it to kind of get some traction and go in the direction before I moved my stop loss. So you can gradually move them down. You just want to leave enough room that it can run too, because these go up and down, right? They don't go in one direction. And that's the reason why is those ups and downs, they're hunting for stops. They're trying to stop people out. So leave yourself enough room to run, but also be smart about it. So now my stop loss is here. It actually almost hit right on this little wick right here, but this moving average, which as a note, the moving average is set up here. I haven't really traded this before very much. The 5, 10, 30, and 60 moving averages actually works really well. They're being well respected here, and so I'm really liking that here over on MEXC. But stops in profit. This is a zero risk trade now. I cannot lose money basically. In fact, worst that'll happen is I make $100 or so, which is not a lot, but it's better than risking a loss. I don't know. Part of me wants to just raise that stop loss a little bit so I can let it run a little bit more, maybe up to this moving average, or a little ahead of this moving average, because it is starting to come up here. But I'm going to watch, see what it does, and adjust that if needed. But it's a zero risk trade at this point, so that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. Thanks for watching. I hope it answers your questions. If you have more, drop them in the comments.